Hello my crafty friends, I'm Lesley and thank you so much for stopping by Crafty Cards with Lesley. Do you ever stare at the cards that you're making and agonize about the colours that you want to use? I know I have. But one of the easiest ways to solve this problem is to look at what's already been designed. For example, pattern paper, or in this case, ribbon. Didn't use ribbon on this card, but I smartened up after this one. When I started designing this card, I made this sample with just one colour. It's nice, but I wanted to add a little wow factor to it. So I looked through my ribbon stash for inspiration and came up with these two colours. So this is the ribbon that I used, and I love this colour combination, but I don't think I would have thought to put those two together. So I challenge you to look through your supplies with a different goal. It's amazing what you can find. Now let's make a card. So I'll show you first of all what I used to make this card, and I think this is quite sweet, but it is nice to add a little bit more colour, I think. So Delightful Wishes I used for the, let me open this up because I used all dies in this one and not the stamps. So this is the little branch die, which I really like. Actually, this if truth be told, this is the reason I bought this set, was just for this this die. So this, and then the flowers, and yeah, they're very cool actually. Let me just take these out because I will actually cut some out today. I don't usually bring my die cutting machine over, but I will today because there's a little trick that I want to show you just in case you don't know it. So Delightful Wishes by Stampin' Up. And then this is another one from Stampin' Up. It's the and this is what I used for this. Hopefully you can see this brick here, and I've used this a few times before in my other videos, and it's called Exposed Brick. That's also by Stampin' Up. And the sentiment that I used for this one, Lots of Love, is in this one here, Delightful Wishes. But the one that we're going to be using today is Just For You, and I thought Just For You can go for anything. And I've got that one from this. It's a Spellbinders set, and yeah, it comes with a whole pile of little dies, and quite like this one. So let's just get started. Let's just jump right in here. I'll move these ones out of the way, and I'll show you the colours that I chose for this one. So this is the ribbon, obviously, that we're going to use for this, and I made this little tag, and we're just going to put a little bit of ribbon. But as I said before, this is what sort of inspired these colours. So I've got some, you see I've made lots of them already. So let's just balance that there. And I found these two colours. This is an old, it's a very old one from Stampin' Up, and it was originally taken with teal. And then I re-inked it with Journey from Close to My Heart. But the color, as you can see, Close to My Heart color is very close to this one. But then the closest one to this, now it gets complicated, is Tahitian Tie from Stampin' Up. So have a sort of little play with what you already have, and it usually works out. So I'm going to use that color, and then this one, which is an old one from Close to My Heart, Avocado, which is very close to Granny Apple Green. So all I did was just smush the ink onto the paper. As you can see here, it's already smushed, and I just like to do it in sort of splodges. And that's all you need to do. There's no sort of ability needed to do this technique for sure. Anybody can do this. I always have problems with the Stampin' Up ink pads. I've got a little bit of arthritis in my hand and they don't always cooperate. So now let's just go in between these colors and then just blend them together. And I do want it to look splodgy, and that's the best way to describe it. So that's all we need to do with this one. So I'm going to just take my dies, just lay them down here, and I cut two of the big ones out and one of the little ones, but I'll just do this for today. And I'll just You don't really need to stick this down. Oh, the little trick I was going to tell you beforehand, nearly forgot. Let me just grab this. I keep little pieces of just parchment paper from my kitchen, and this, with intricate dies like this, there's a lot of pieces to cut out on here. So I find the easiest way is just to put this down on the paper that you want to cut it out, and then put this on top. So it's going to be much easier to cut out. Let me just show you. Let me just move all this out of the way and I'll bring my big shot over. Okay. So let's slide this on here. Got my cutting plate on the bottom. So we'll just make sure we've got extra room around it there. And then we'll sandwich it in with the top plate. A little jiggle. Okay. Get this out of the way. And this cuts out so easily. Does not get stuck in here. I've tried doing these without having the parchment paper in, and you've really got to maneuver them out. But you can see how clearly, how easily it comes out of there, and then just poke your little pieces out. But you see, after making a splodgy mess, how nice it actually looks when it's cut out. That's perfect. Put that back so I don't lose it. And then the bigger one. It just lifts out. I find, as I said before, if I don't put the parchment under very delicate dies like this, it tends to get stuck, and then you have to dig it out. And yeah, this is perfect, I think. Good little tip. Okay, so I have some already cut out, but I thought I'd just show you that little trick with the parchment paper. Okay, let's clear some mess away and we'll bring everything back. This is where editing your videos would work out very well, but I tend not to do any editing, so sorry if it's a little bit slow going, but I thought I would like to just show you that little piece. So we're going to do my normal size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then the top part, the top panel, is 4 by 5 1/4, and then this one is 5 1/4 by 2 inches, and then run through the die cut machine with the embossing plate on, and then you finish it with this. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick all of this down, and then we'll build our little card. It's a very, very easy card to do, this one. And as you can see, I've made lots of little flowers, so I can get myself a little stash already. And I thought that sentiment just for you is perfect really for any occasion. And we need to do this one on foam tape. Now I have my giant roll of foam tape, which I got from Amazon. I'm just going to take this little bit off there and just put one strip right down the middle. Sorry if you might be a bit off camera a little bit. And I'll just tear this. Okay. And just peel off the back. And then try and get it on straight. Not always easy when I'm at this angle. Okay, and it's just about 1/2 inch over from the left-hand side. Hopefully that's straightish. Okay, so I'll need a piece of this, and this one is Smoky Slate cardstock. And I'm going to actually glue this down. And just a little bead of glue. Okay, so I'll pop that right down at the bottom in the center-ish, and then that leaves room for the flower on the top. I may as well go and add the flowers. Take my little tag out. And for the little dots, I was looking at these ones, I put the little rhinestones on, but I didn't have anything this color, so I thought I'd just make my own. So I just used, sorry, it's on my magnetic wall behind my light. I just used this, which are actually, it's a dye for bubbles for fish, of all things, but it works for getting various sizes for the little circles. So, you know, a good thing to do if you don't have the right gems, you can just use a little hole punch and get them that way. And then I'm going to put the glossy accents over the top. So let's go and put these down. Now you can put them down with tape if you want, but I find glue with this works well. And we want to put quite a bit on because it's going onto the embossed paper. So about there. And we can use the one that we already coloured. Oh, actually, I've got little bits to poke out there too, so I'll use the one that I did before. I'm going to have this, let me bring this into camera view. I'm going to have this so it's just sticking over the edge just a little bit. So I don't want to put glue on this part because it's going to be over the edge. So I'm just going to put my fingers there so I remember not to glue there. And then just position that. Let's give it a little press down. And then the little one. And that one just a little bit sticking over the edge there. So how am I going to put that on? It's okay, I'll hold it there so I don't glue that little bit there. Make sure I've got it turned around the right way. And there we go. But I really like that color combination. I think that is so sweet. And I would have never have thought to use that. So all I did with this one is just cut a piece of ribbon, just miter the ends of them and thread them through the little hole here. And then I took a little little glue dot, and then just secured it together. That's all you need to do with that. Very simple. I mean, you could tie a bow if you wanted to, but I didn't think there was any point. So before I do this, I'm actually going to use my splatter stamp, and if I can find it, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I always bury things underneath different things. So we can either easy for me to say, splatter it in the Granny Apple Green or the Tahitian Tide. I think I'll go with the green actually. You could do both, I guess. I'll go with the green. So I'm just going to, just the way I've done it on that one there, just a little, let me just turn this around so I can see it. Just a little splatter. And if you don't have a splatter stamp of any kind, you can use, just dilute a little bit of ink and just literally splatter it. So this part here, I'm going to just put a little bit of tape, and then the rest of it I'm going to put some foam tape. Now I had a little piece, so I'll just, and this is the same thickness, so you want to make sure you're going to use the same, have it the same height. So sometimes you may have to double up your foam tape, but if you use the same, you've not got a problem. Okay, and that matches that just perfectly, I think. Okay, so let's dig out some of these little dots. And I think I'll just use the three, the one larger one and the two little ones. So I'm going to just move them up to one side and then just put a dot of glue where I want them to finish up. And then just slide them in place. Just give them a little press. So quite similar to that one, but I think I really do like the two colors. And yeah, let me know, leave a comment and let me know what you think, whether you like the single color or the double color, or using the ribbon. I always like to have everybody's feedback, and then yeah, it's good to hear. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I have some Glossy Accents. It's by Ranger, and this is what sort of, I think, turns them into little brads or gems. I just want to give it a little squeeze and then just leave it to dry. Don't just go and jam it in the envelope to mail. But it just leaves that, I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it's got that sort of raised effect to it. And it's glossy, obviously, as well. It looks a little bit like glass. So, yeah, it's a great way to make your own little gems, I think. So, I think that's our card. It's a very quick one to put together, that's for sure. So that's our card for today. I will list everything that I used to make this, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up icon and consider subscribing. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.